I'm a Disney World annual pass holder. Tell me why it's safe for me and my family now to go back to Disney.
We've done everything we can to open up responsibly, taking the guidance of local health officials, state health officials, national health officials, plus our own well-qualified doctors on staff to create an environment, to create new operating procedures, to create new policies, to do new training, new standards of hygiene.
Obviously, Central Florida is incredibly hot during the summer. How do you guys plan to enforce people wearing masks inside of the park since it's a mandatory guideline?
Well, so far our experience has been that the guests have been very cooperative when it comes to wearing the masks. I think that's really going to be part of the contract of coming to Walt Disney World in any capacity. We're going to enforce that rule. It's for everybody's safety. We've had a great experience in Shanghai, and so far the experience at Disney Springs after only a short week is that guests are willing to wear the masks because they know it's for everyone's good. And yes, it's a little warm and humid, but when you're having a lot of fun, I've had this mask on pretty much the whole day, and you just forget about it after a while, and I think that's going to be part of maintaining the magic.
The first phase will be at limited capacity, the plan said today, but it didn't say how much of a limited capacity would be. Can you tell me, is it 25%, 50%?
So what we're doing is using the 6-foot social distancing in order to set what the capacity should be. And the capacity that we're going to open up with is actually slightly below where we really think we can reside with that 6 feet. We won't open up a park unless we can at least cover our variable cost, essentially, the cost to operate the park. So then beyond that, it becomes a question of trying to cover your overhead and your capital expenses that you have. And we'll make some baby steps towards that, but we won't be essentially losing money.
If you keep the parks closed, you eliminate the risks of any guests or employees getting sick. That's the benefit of being closed. Unfortunately, that puts a lot of your employees out of work, or at least furloughed for now. How do you balance those risks at each park?
That essentially is the million-dollar question that I think all municipalities, as well as people that operate theme parks as large as Disney theme parks, have to deal with. To some extent, there's a trust that's built up, I think, in Walt Disney Company that will operate responsibly when we do decide to open up. But we've got a myriad, layers upon layers upon layers of defenses against this virus. And whether it's temperature checks, we're going to be doing temperature checks daily for our cast members when they come to work every day. But also, we've sent them each their own personal thermometer so that they can take their temperatures even before they show up to work. So we've got so many layers that we believe that we can open up responsibly, even though there is still a risk out there, and it's up to everybody to sort of evaluate that risk given their own personal situation.
Are you guys prepared to close down again if there is a significant second wave later this year?
Well, one of the reasons why we're moving so slowly and so deliberately and so cautiously is that we hope to avoid that type of situation. And we think by moving very cautiously and deliberately that we can mitigate the chances of that happening.